Welcome back. The Trump administration crossing a major hurdle in their immigration crackdown on Democratic-led cities. A federal appeals court ruling yesterday to allow the deployment of National Guard troops in Portland, Oregon, saying that the president likely, in their words, lawfully exercised his statutory authority in making that order. Oregon plans to appeal the decision, but this fight isn't just playing out in Oregon. A group of Tennessee officials has just filed a lawsuit over the deployment of National Guard troops there, specifically in Memphis. Joining us now, one of the lawmakers bringing forward that suit, Tennessee State Representative Gabby Salinas. Representative Salinas, your lawsuit argues, and I'm reading from it here, our nation's founders recognized that military rule was incompatible with liberty and democracy, and that, quote, the facts on the ground cannot justify defendants' overreach. Crime is not a circumstance that passes constitutional muster. What are you hoping to achieve with this lawsuit and the argument that you lay forth there?
Yeah, is that we are a nation of laws, that we have a constitution, that our elected officials should not be the first people to break those laws and those rights that are afforded to us by our Constitution, both at the federal level, but also at the local level. And for the context of what in this fight that we're in, this is the governor and the governor's party who started off our year with a special session that criminalized politicians for voting for sanctuary city policies and making it a Class E felony. This is not how America should be running. This is not, we're a nation of laws, we have a constitution, and it should be respected and not broken, not even by the president or the governor.
So Representative Salinas, an appeals court then just ruled against Portland's push to block National Guard troops there. When you consider that alongside the suit that you're a part of, does it concern you about the future?
I am looking forward to having our day in court. That will be on November 3rd. So we will be making our case to the judge. And I think that we have a strong case to be made as to this is specific to the governor. And our case is different than what is happening in Portland. So I think we have a strong argument.
I do want to talk about one of the on-the-ground dynamics, in particular in Memphis. The Democratic mayor there, Paul Young, has voiced his concerns about the troops in Memphis, but didn't join you on this lawsuit. Tennessee's governor, meanwhile, has backed the deployment. So what's the impact of that disconnect?
Yeah, I think that it's the role of Memphis and Shelby County, we're in a different situation in the sense that we have a county government as well as a city council government. So in terms of an impact, I don't think that it makes our argument any weaker. Within the statutes, it says that the city is able to request National Guard involvement as well as the county. That didn't take place in this time. So I think that the argument there in terms of the city being on the right side by not asking the governor to deploy the National Guard. So I think that absent that that request, our argument is still very strong, and it's very much united. We're a united front in this fight.
And finally, what are you hearing from your constituents over these National Guard deployments? I know many of them were just out for a No Kings protest on Saturday.
We're seeing a lot of fear, people being fearful of what's happening. And again, I think context is important. This is the city where Tyree Nichols was killed by police brutality. This is the city where Martin Luther King was killed for fighting for civil rights. So we have had a lot of struggles within trying to address violent crime, but also respecting people's rights. This is going to make it worse. And it's not a surprise that people are scared that their government is being weaponized against them. And it's going to be counterproductive. It's going to set back. And if we want to address crime, we need to address education, poverty. Our unemployment numbers are through the roof. Healthcare. We lead the country in hospital closures. If we want to have long-lasting effect on crime, we have to address those issues.
We'll leave it there, but there's still a lot for us to unpack. I'm sure we'll have you back to do just that. Tennessee State Representative Gabby Salinas, thank you for joining us.